Let me put him on the stage. The myth, the legend, he's here.
Hey Sergio, how are you, man?
Good, man. How's it going?
It's going. It's been quite a week,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I think there's a lot of people who could learn a lot from the both of us, especially this week, man. FOMC was crazy. Got a rate cut, of course. Today, OPEX. Actually, I'm surprised that we made such a range today on OPEX. But yeah,
One of my members called you the MVC man.
the MVC man, yeah, most valuable contract.
Yeah. So William, introduce yourself to start with. We're also doing this on X as well, by the way. It's not just YouTube.
Oh man,
I'll give you a short introduction. William, brilliant man, brilliant young guy, from an outfit in Canada called Quant Data. I've met William actually on X. One of the good things on X, not much going on X other than pumpers, and I was just hooked up, and obviously we have similar backgrounds. He's a trader, I'm a trader, and then we just created this relationship, friendship, and then I do visit Quant Data maybe once a week or so. He's gracious enough to put me on his stage, so I said, I'm going to return the favor. I'll put you on my stage. And so tell us what Quant Data is and a little bit about your past.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. And every time you pop into Quant Data, it's mutual respect for sure. I think a lot of people enjoy the things that you share, the experience that you have. There's just not a lot of that available online, right? We always get these kids who call themselves superior analysts after 6 months of performance. With your track record, right? Obviously, 30 plus years is amazing. Myself, I've been trading for just around 8 years now. Actively like day trading since 2022. A lot of swing trading before that, and yeah, I got picked up by Quant Data. So it's a very, very fruitful, very amazing partnership. I love their team. I was actually even using Quant Data before they even picked me up. So it's just, I love how things go full circle. And yeah, I met you on X, Twitter for us old folks as well, right?
Yes, please.
I like the old name Twitter better.
Yeah.
It's great to weed out some of the real traders versus these showboaters or these affiliate.
Yeah, no, well, you know what? But it's their time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I see all these posts, on the Robinhood accounts, and oddly enough, nine out of 10 are Robinhood accounts, because you can tell I have a Robinhood account. I can tell the UI. I can tell UI. They all go like, "Oh, I just did $1 million. I have 100,000 shares are open. I bought at $3. It's 10." And I'm like, "Look, man, it's your time. It's your time. As long as, my advice to those folks is that just trees don't grow to the sky. But then lately, every tree seems like it's growing to the sky, and especially today, we're gonna talk about a couple of these things that I'm like, wow. I think that side of me, the analytical side or the fundamental side of me, stops me from participating in a lot of these. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which is they literally go parabolic. And I know parabolics don't end well, but then we also don't know when they end well. So you wouldn't be able to short those either, because they'll rip your face off.
Yes.
And so Quant Data is basically you guys analyze live option flow data, correct?
Yeah.
On equities and indexes, right?
Correct. Yeah. So Quant Data, we're an options order flow platform. We do gamma exposure, delta exposure, Vanna exposure, charm exposure. We have a variety of tools to help traders kind of decipher what's the most likely scenario for price based on what they're seeing and what it is that they're trying to capture out of the market. And we also run a live stream just like you. But we run a live stream every New York session. I trade live every day with them for free. It's a free community. You don't need to subscribe to join in on the streams. And I think that's different for us because, we obviously customers are great. But I think what we push for is, not the gym membership kind of style of making money, right? Where the majority of these gyms make money from people subscribing and then not going to the gym, right?
Yep.
We actually want you guys to want to use the tool, love the tool, and then of course we're always taking feedback as well. There's actually a lot of new stuff coming out that we are working on. API, something that's very sought after. API is coming out. We also have volatility tools coming out, so those are really exciting. Quant Data is, there's a lot of things coming out, a lot of new things, and I think that even if you're not ready to subscribe, like join in the live streams and see how we do, how we trade live, what we're seeing.
Yeah, he does, tool. And I join at least a couple times a week. But he so the stream. Well, the stream is free, obviously. They have a Discord server that is free. So unlike some of these YOLOers, you have to pay to get into the Discord. Quant Data is free. You literally just can go sit and listen, or not just listen, observe and read the comments and learn. So if you're going to get into what Quant Data is offering, which I think the membership or the subscription is actually, I think, really, really ridiculously low, affordable for what you're offering. So I want to differentiate a little bit. A lot of people, as you know, a lot of people do technical analysis, right? So what do you call technical analysis?
Chopstick trading.
That's true. He told me that to my face, and I was like, "What?" No, but so I do use obviously charts. But charts always tell you the past.
Exactly.
And it's a good point of reference to see a picture. Picture's worth 1,000 words. What is this thing has done? Where has it been before? Where is it going? Or whatever. And also, a lot of people attach indicators to these charts, right? So the MACDs and RSIs and all kinds of things. There's endless indicators. From what I know, William, there is not one indicator that's a leading indicator. Like, it will not tell me what's going to happen tomorrow. It will tell me what happened in the past. It'll give you some momentum numbers and things like that. I feel like the major difference between Quant Data and charting, let's say, not that it's a fair comparison, is that you're getting the data live. You're seeing the flow of money, basically, right?
Exactly.
And you're trying to take advantage of the flow of money because, I don't think an institution that just, bought $1 billion of options I think they're better off than the average trader that's YOLOing into zero DTEs. So 100%. Tell us a little bit about that. The differences between this old style analysis. There's fundamental analysis, there's technical analysis, and then there's the new boys in town. Well, I'm not saying new, but Quant Data, which analyzes data, which there is power in data, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, 100%. This is stuff that I live and breathe. I love trading based on data. I know I make a joke about chopstick trading, right? Where, we talk about bullish wedges and price is supposed to do one thing or another. But to be honest, in the end, a lot of this technical analysis is up to one's opinion. Our job as traders is to make sure we can kind of identify what's the most likely scenario for price based on what we're seeing. A lot of the things, as you mentioned, charts, candles, RSI indicators, that's all backward looking. That's all telling you what's happened already. It's fantastic if you need it to determine how much risk you want to put on for a trade, for example, or determine where your stops are. But tools like Quant Data, where we get live exposure, we get live money flow, we can see, for example, September 11th was a day that we did very well in the Quant Data community stream, is because basically right from the open, we saw that the majority of the market was already long calls, right? They were long calls from before, days before, and right at the market open as well, calls just started getting slammed, right? So if you were waiting for some sort of wedge to break out, there's nothing that we need to look for that, right? For us, identifying the data, we already know, well, the majority of the market is long, so why would we do anything else? Do we need to wait for some sort of perfect entry? Not really. We could just slowly size into our longs. And I do a lot of credit spreads, so just sell puts, finance your longs, and just kind of close your eyes, enjoy your coffee. Those are the days where the data is just really telling, because I know that technical traders, right? A lot of traders that trade supply and demand and gaps and whatnot. While they are great levels, with the data, you can actually see if those gaps and those levels are actually going to be met or if they're going to be surpassed. That's the edge that we provide in Quant Data and any like analytics tool. Looking deep into options, because we know options is forward looking, right? If someone's buying, let's say, yesterday we were calling for 6650 as a top. Well, we saw those same 6650s get slammed for FOMC, and it just makes sense. It just makes more sense to look at where people are actually putting their money instead of two lines converging on a chart and determining if that someone's gonna buy here or sell here.
Yeah, no, I get that. Obviously, so I what I want you to do next, in a couple of minutes is, so if you're going to go visit Quant Data Discord, and you're going to hear a lot of these Greeks, right? First level Greeks, second order Greeks, first order Greeks. So first order is delta, gamma, theta, vega. Second order is Vanna, charm. Briefly, right? So if somebody's going to come to the Quant Data server or Discord, and you're going to hear these things, so what I'll do is I just want to prep them to just make sure you at least have an understanding. You don't have to be as good as William immediately, because that takes time, or me, or whatever. But you also have to understand the relationships between VIX and all these Greeks, how they affect each other. Like what happens if this happens? How does it change the other one? So what do you think people should pay attention to when it comes to the Greeks? First order, second order? What do you think?
I think it's important to understand at least delta, gamma, and Vanna, especially if you're day trading. Those are the three main Greeks that help us determine support and resistance, right? Like where everyone's positioned and where price wants to go. Gamma and Vanna is more so forward looking, and delta is backward looking. We use delta as support and resistance, and we use gamma and Vanna as targets for price. And you've seen it yourself. We coined a term in a Quant Data called the MVC, the most valuable contract. It's the contract that's set to pay you the most based on our calculations. And more often than not, with our studies, right, 72% of the time we actually hit the MVC every day trading SPX. So that's what I trade a lot. I primarily trade SPX every day, and it's been amazing that some people can see that how accurate gamma exposure is. And just being able to call direction and being able to call the absolute tops and bottoms with gamma as well. So those three Greeks, delta, understand it completely, gamma, and then Vanna. And then after that, take a deep dive into charm and then volatility, because those things are heavily important for trading the market.
Yeah, for sure. And so prep yourselves when you get there with the Greeks, folks. Look, don't do it to get there. You do it for yourself, because if you're trading options and you don't understand the Greeks, again, I have nothing against these Robinhood YOLOers, right? And to me, I honestly don't think they wouldn't know a Greek if it hit them in the head. They'd be like, buying options with 400 IV, and they're buying it directionally, and they're going to make money because look, it's, the things are melting up and the way they move. And I'm like, hey man, look, all power to you. But over long periods of time, we know what happens when you always are directional as opposed to, selling premium versus buying premium. But then, there's their time, they're making money. Couple of other things. When you trade, like you mostly Quant Data community are day traders, right? Yeah, short term. Like, but then you also do have a couple of other extras, like you do pay attention to the levels of dark pools and also individual stocks, correct? Like option flow in individual stocks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, a lot of the times we trade. Well, I think the stream is mostly catered towards day traders. I'm a day trader myself. What's amazing about our stream is that we talk about the data, right? We talk about probabilities, but we also showcase a trader's mindset, right? So I've been day trading for quite a while now, right? 8 years in the markets. I think that a lot of times, a lot of people will ask me like, "Oh, what's the best move? Like, what should I do right now?"
Yeah.
And the answer a lot of times is we have to show these traders, these new traders, that actually the best move is usually to sit and wait for
Yeah.
your positions, for your setup to come to you, right?
The 3 Ps.
That's right. That's right. And that's, yeah. So the stream is generally catered towards zero DTs, but we do talk about
Yeah.
swing positions as well. I do share the majority of my positions in the stream, and we just spend a lot of time on day trading.
Yep. Okay. One last question. So today, I had a members live actually on Wednesday, and every single stock that I talked about that was like looking at chopsticks. Okay.
Yeah.
I go, this looks like ready to go. This looks like ready to go. It was just 2 days ago. It was like one was Rigetti, another one was Oklo, and I mean they had already been just going, and now today it seems like definitely melt up phase on those. And I have explained it to my members, but then to explain to the YouTube and the X community, what is the anatomy of a gamma squeeze? What is happening there? What people say that, and I don't even think most of them understand what a gamma squeeze is. But what is happening there?
A gamma squeeze is when dealers are forced to buy back the options that they're short. Maybe the underlying, for example, is just getting slammed with buy orders. Well, at that point, we get a squeeze up based on the fact that the dealers who are short, because they're generally short stock, they have to buy everything back, and so that's kind of what happens in a gamma squeeze. It is very complex. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, even identifying it is, like, I will honestly say, we usually see it as an aftermath. Like, we wouldn't predict it to happen.
Yeah.
It usually happens too fast, right? There's all these algorithms running around all the time, affecting markets, affecting price. So it usually is an aftermath. I wouldn't say that that's something that we would try to capture at all times. That's an anomaly. And we do know dealers and stuff, they generally don't want that stuff to happen, because they have to change and shift their books way too much.
Yeah.
But
that's why, I mean, even on day trading, you got to watch gamma really, really, really closely, because it happens during the day too. But you can't trade for it, but then you have to look for it. So last question. I have my red hat on, more sauce, extra sauce hat on. Today is definitely extra sauce day, bro. So what were the numbers going into today for? Is it quad or triple witching today? I think it's quad, right?
I just know it's OPEX. I actually told myself that I wouldn't trade today.
Okay.
I wouldn't take so I didn't put on a single position today. I actually lost money on FOMC, and so because of that, I was like, this week I haven't done too hot, so I am going to calm down, not put in any money.
You know what? FOMC was crazy, right? So from where the initial rate cut news came, we went up like maybe about 0.5%. Then we sold off back to where it was, down 0.5%, and then ended up exactly where the announcement came at 6,600. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Everything expired gorgeous. So what did OPEX look like to you today, though? What kind of exposures out there?
Yeah, so today the OPEX exposures are generally, today's very rare. What we're seeing today didn't give me a lot of confidence. We have a major short for 6650. So we are seeing billions of net exposure, negative delta, 5.65 billion right now. It actually shot up towards 17 billion negative for 6650. Gamma is super short there as well. So what I'm thinking right now is that we're probably going to close right around here. We're not going to do a whole lot. We'll get some ripper candles up and down, but ultimately we probably close within $5 of 66.50.
Is that NBC today?
That is NBC today. It's been NBC all day, actually.
Okay. So isn't it kind of odd, though, that usually OPEX days are, I think from my memory, triple witching OPEX days. I think today is definitely either triple or quad witching. So for people who don't know, triple witching is like index options expire, futures, and all this shit expires. Okay, and equities and whatever not. But third Friday of every quarter there is one of those triple or quad witching. So usually like 7 out of the last 10 have been down days, and today kind of surprising that it's a really strong up day, actually, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm not saying to take directionals or do anything. I usually don't do it. I have positions. I don't day trade. I swing trade. Once in a while I'll dabble into day trading when I feel like making extra shekels, but it's not my thing. But so William, you have anything else to add, buddy?
No, not really. I think that, well, it's always awesome talking to you. And I can't wait for you to pop into the Quant Data stream as well and share some good stuff. I love meeting traders like yourself, right? Real traders that actually have strong convictions and solid ideas and experience, right? There's just too many of this fluff online.
Although, you know what, William, this year has been difficult for me because I have the experience, right? I don't want too much overnight exposure, but I'm swing trader. I have to have overnight exposure. But then with one tweet, I could get my face ripped off if I'm on the wrong side of it. So it's an up year. I'll do fine at the end of the year, but it won't be like last year. It won't be 120%. I'm going to fight for like 70, hopefully. But it's tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. And so, yeah, I will definitely stop by next week. It's always fun to have you on. We should do this more often. Seriously.
Yeah, 100%. I love chatting with you guys. I love seeing your audience too. Your audience is very vibrant.
Yeah, my members group is good, man. They're learning. But so I do live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Anybody can join. There's the link, actually. So, William, thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. And I'll see you next week on yours.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Well, there's William from Quant Data. Seriously. I think it's a new way of trading. You guys should definitely go check out the free Discord server.